Проверим ссылку. Yeah, please say something.
Check 1, 2.
Test, 1, 2, 3. Test.
Hello, testing.
Hello, test.
Hello.
Test.
Hello. Check.
Test, test, 1, 2, 3.
Check, check.
1 2 1 2 1 2.
Test. 1 2.
Test, test.
Just I don't mean to do this now, but I've got a meeting at 9:30 just so that you guys know, Max. I don't know how much longer we're going to be adding the presentation time and all that, right?
Isn't that just revenue? Isn't that meeting just revenue?
The revenue, no, that's been changed by Anu. So my meeting is with a customer at 9:30.
Okay.
The revenue was at 9.
All right, first take. Let's do this.
Okay. Okay, let me know when we're ready. Give me a countdown from
Or
3.
maybe Max gives us a thumbs up in the Google Meet chat, and we'll press on ahead.
Okay, so give me a countdown from 3 and I'll get going.
3, 2, 1.
Hi, thank you for joining us. We appreciate you taking the time to watch this video session, this video recording of our support and development and service team. Today, we've got some information to share with you for what we've done on a number of fronts, how we've improved the switch over the last year to our new version, Sippy 2023. We also have some information to share with you about some service improvements that we made on the customer and support side. We also have some information to share with you from the commercial team on the sales side. And we also have a couple of guests, customer guests, who will share some information with you about their relationship with Sippy, how they use Sippy, and perhaps some of the value that they get from using our Softswitch. We've got several members of the team, including the one and only Maxim Sobolev, who leads our team. And today, starting out with the discussion will be Philip Ma, who is the manager of our development team. He will introduce everybody on the team, and he will let you know about the agenda today. Until a little bit later on, please welcome. Thanks, Philip.
Thanks, Fred. Yeah, today's discussion will start off with talking a bit about what our development team has been working on. For those of you who don't know who I am, my name is Philip. I'm the product manager at Sippy Software. Been with the team for several years now in my role to manage and supervise our developers. So we have a lot to cover today. We'll sort of give you a quick, long list of items that we'll cover. We'll go into depth of each of these topics individually, as some of the key figures who've sort of contributed to some of these features and improvements, we'll talk about them individually. But first things first, I wanted to introduce you to 3 new team members that we have on our team. We have Mark, Reed, and Dimitro joining our team this year. Each of them have bring some wealth of experience and knowledge to the Sippy team. Let me start introducing Dimitro first. We like to call him Dima in our Scrum meetings. Dima has moved from the Ukraine into Poland and is currently a PhD student at Alfred Nobel University. His key responsibilities at Sippy include full stack development. So we do pass him tasks that impact our backend as well as our front end work. Gives him a little taste of each side of the technology stack, and he helps out Mark and Reed a fair bit with some of their tasks as well. You might recognize Dimitro if you attended OpenSIPs in Valencia earlier this year. He was there. Maybe Dimitro, why don't you tell a little bit about your experience in Valencia?
Yes, thank you, Philip. A small talk about my working in Sippy software. I work as a software engineer. I dealing with Python, PHP languages, and UI part of our project. Right now, I would like to be better and improve my skills in front end, and our team support me on it. About Valencia's summit, it's a great experience for me. It's interesting event and a good way for communicate with another developers. Yes, thank you, and continue.
All right. Thanks, Dima. All right. The next new face I wanted to introduce is Mark. Mark joins us from the Philippines. He moved here earlier this year, I believe. He's fairly experienced in JavaScript and PHP, which is perfect for what we need in terms of a front-end developer. But he's also worked in the software engineering since 2011. So he's quite a bit, he carries a fair bit of work experience as a front-end. His spare time, he likes to build some model Gundams as well. So maybe we'll pass it over to Mark to talk a little bit about himself.
Yeah, hey everyone, I'm Mark. So yeah, I do have a lot of like experience, but yeah, I did develop web and mobile before. So yeah, I'm also like done Java development, so that's the back end side. So yeah, and then as as for my hobby, I have this box, but I haven't built it yet. So yeah, that's what the Gundam is. So yeah, thank you, Philip.
Cool. And the last member of our team is Reed. Reed comes to us from Korea, and he has a fair bit of experience programming in Go, Python, and in JavaScript. He's been coding since 2020. His primary focus is on our backend code and components. He's made some great headway on some of our Go-based components so far. So you'll see a number of changes that he'll talk a little bit about, both on some of our Go-based components, in particular some of our Softswitch products as well. I think Reed's an avid musician and also dreams of one day beating Fred at a round of golf. So maybe Reed, if you want to say a few words.
Yep. Hello, everyone. It's great to be here today. My name is Reed. As Pili mentioned, I recently moved to Canada and have previously worked in Indonesia and Korea, and now I work with this amazing team. I have also almost 5 years of professional experience and specialize in backend development. I love golf and hope to one day beat Fred. Thank you.
We actually have some bets going on between Fred and Reed, so hopefully in the spring we'll see that actually take place. All right. Before we jump into some of the new features, some of the things that I wanted to cover was a little bit about Sippy 2023 and some of the features that you might see there. Okay. 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 So, um, this would be the start of the next part. Yeah, I think this part will be just me for a bit, and then at the end of the Sippy 23, the three features I'll talk about, then there'll be the next session for. Uh, I think what you should see is like a question screen, and this will be your break. You can remove the question, just put a blank screen. Okay. Hold on. Wait. There we go. All right. All right. So, all right. As part of this discussion today, I wanted to talk to you a little bit about Sippy 2023. And some of the new features that are available as part of it. Right now, over half of our AWS installations and about a third of our non-AWS installations are currently on 2023. Our support team is in the process of upgrading customers that currently have support and are looking to take advantage of these new features. So if you are interested, please do schedule some time with our support team to update your server. But there's a handful of new features that I wanted to talk to you specifically a bit about today, just in case you weren't aware of some of the features that are available. So those three features are DID ranges, some of the improvements we've made to stir shaken, as well as how certificates are managed. First topic will be how we manage DID ranges. So this was a big feature that we added in 2023. We have lots of information about each of this feature as well as other features up on our support portal as well. But the key feature of our DID ranges allow for large blocks of DID numbers to be assigned out to various accounts, customers, and various IVR functions. And with DID ranges, you could subdivide each range out into smaller subblocks of ranges. So over here, you might have one big block of about 100 numbers. Some of those numbers might not be assigned out, but then you could create subranges like this 0105 to 0110 out to one account, and then that could go to a specific set of trunks and have another set of subrange DID numbers going assigned to a second account, and those going out to a different set of trunks as well. And so when you are setting up your DID ranges here, you could specify this type. And there's this list box here that'll allow you to specify the start and end range of your DIDs. And then when you're looking up your DID numbers, there's folders of a folder structure where you can look at some of the top 10 elements within that range and see which numbers are assigned or which sub-ranges are assigned to a various account. Again, if you are looking for more information, you could search our support portal, just type in DID ranges, and you'll be able to look up and read up on all the information that we have on DID ranges. The next improvement that we've made to our software in 2023 is we added some web configurations for StirShaken. So in prior versions, a lot of the configurations were held in the database. There was no way to actually manage these for you as a user. You would have to contact support to help set the connections up, and which would take a little bit of time to get that set up and running for you. Here you can specify which connector you're going to use, be it a one-call connect, which will help handle your authentication services. There's the ISP telecom connector that we have, which works as a 302 redirect, or you could manage this through a local database of certificates that you could have management and sort of be able to handle the authentication side or verification side on your own. For the verification, there's two types of connectors. Again, you have the ISP one and local DB as well. There you go. There you go. So the other thing here is once you select your connector type, you could specify where it needs to be directed to, some of the configuration parameters that you might need. You could also define how strict your connections need to be based off of verification as well. The other thing that we've done as part of StirShaken in 2023 is we've also enabled this to handle on a per routing group basis. In prior versions in Sippy 2022, it was pretty much felt like it was like an all or nothing type scenario where all calls might need to go through this verification process or authentication process. So now you could specify this on a per routing group basis. So if there's a specific route that you need this to be handled on, you could specify that, which helps cut down on your call processing time, skipping the process entirely, which sort of helps out in those areas where StirShaken isn't quite required yet. And again, on our support portal, there's lots of information about StirShaken available. So feel free to look up StirShaken on our support portal, and you'll find lots of information on how the feature already works. The last 2023 feature that I'll talk a little bit about today is about how we manage certificates. So there was a fair bit of changes needed this year on how we manage our certificates. A lot of our components that rely on certificates like our web or certificates for StirShaken sort of needed to go through some overhaul. So now we have a sort of a unified management interface to be able to look at and view how certificates are managed as well. It'll give you visibility into when they expire or how they're being used. So there's a number of security improvements that sort of rely on this. A number of our components needed to be reworked to be able to support this as well. So there were quite a few security enhancements that came along with this new feature for certificates. So I think with that, we have a number of new improvements in our 2023 release that are really relevant. There's some security improvements and some improved management and functions that are available on the Softswitch that really help you sort of control your configurations. And then there's some improvements in around how we manage stir shaken, which is a new regulatory changes that are impacting everyone in the telco industry right now. So hopefully you'll be able to make use out of some of these new features if you aren't currently. If you're on 2022 and are looking to upgrade, you just want to put in a support ticket with our support desk, and they'll schedule some time to get your server updated for you. Fred, do you have any questions?
Thank you, Philip. Just
Well, next person to talk would be Pavel, but this Fred's thought was to ask some quick question after everyone's presentation.
Thank you, Philip. So I think that in seeing your presentation, the viewing audience can tell that a lot of work has been done over the past year to make sure that this version, Sippy 2023, has a lot of the functionality that, from a business perspective, anyone using the Switch absolutely very critically needs. On the commercial side, one of the things I mentioned was that we are making some extensions to the team. And I've said this to people when I talk on the phone or when I have online meetings, is we've got quite a number of requests for development and feature requests. As you know, if you pay your support contract on an annual basis, you are entitled to receiving any of these updates and upgrades, which the team works so very hard to deliver. Just a quick question along the lines of the cycle time for developing these features this time around, Philip. If you could tell us a little bit about how long it takes, and typically how much work there is in between versions to plan out for everything.
There's always some levels of varying levels of difficulty whenever we receive an issue from the field and from our customers about problems that have come up. Sometimes when you are baking a cake and you need to crack some eggs, you got to break some eggs to bake your cake. So sometimes there may be some minor issues that need to be looked into after a release. Typically, if it's fairly small, the changes could take about a couple of hours to get fixed, as well as some testing across all our different bleeding edge and stable code that we have. So sometimes it might take a couple of days for a reported bug to get fixed, and a fix to be ready to be applied out to production. Is really what we're hoping for. Some of the bigger features do take a lot more time. The security changes that I mentioned, for example, that touched a lot of different components that dealt with how security worked. So we needed to be very careful about how each of those component changes sort of impacted our production code.
Great, thank you. So from a company perspective, if you are using Sippy's Softswitch as your main signaling or billing engine for your switching requirements, you can see that as a company, we are putting our investments into making sure we've got the type of people and the resources to make sure that we can develop almost anything that is a requirement for the Softswitch and for, at the end of the day, for your business to operate. Thank you, Philip. Let's go ahead on to the next presenter. Go ahead.
That's the pause for Max. Yes, I'm sharing my screen.
So then I think, Philip, are you introducing Pavel? Or does Pavel
should it be Pavel to introduce? Well,
yeah,
I'm fine.
I could introduce Pavel, or if you want to introduce yourself, it's fine.
Okay, but you got to have a method so that the next guy doesn't have to. No,
I'll introduce Pavel.
Yeah, I think that's easiest. That way they know that they're coming up, right?
Should I disable my camera and presentation for the time being?
No, leave your camera up. It's okay.
Cool.
I'll drop my camera off pretty soon, though. So, yeah,
Fred,
maybe.
do we need your camera?
Oh, sorry. I'm sorry.
Okay. All right. The next presenter in our series today will be Pavel. Most of you guys have had some interaction with Pavel, be it on some of your support tickets or some of your deployments. Pavel's a fairly knowledgeable guy who has been around the Sippy team longer than I have. So we'll let Pavel talk about some of the items that are new and give us a bit of a rundown on what we tackle in a given year. Pavel?
Hello, everyone. So I will be covering 3 topics today. And all those topics would be covered from the QA perspective. And this is actually my role in CP software. So the first topic would be ticket breakdown. I will speak a little bit about the ticket distribution that we are finalizing for the new release. Then I will shed some light on the new FreeBSD ports and new programs that we will be installing in CP 2024. And the last would be Selenium test coverage, which is automation of web UI testing. So let's go on. So for the aggregated statistic for the tickets our dev team has completed in upcoming release. So basically, this is a pie diagram, pie chart that allows to see how the different types of issues are distributed for the coming releases. So as you can see, almost half of the pie is regression and bug for the new version. So this was taken some time from the QA department to identify and validate all those bugs and regressions. And also almost a half of that pie is new feature improvement and different set of tasks, which is even more than a half. So with this distribution, it means that we not only focus on the new features and new things to be added in our product, but also maintain the high level of support and high level of track of the common issues or found regressions. So coming to the next topic to be discussed, this is the update of the ports tree and updates of different programs that CP is based on. So this list starts with OpenSIPs, but I would like to start actually with FreeBSD, because this is the operating system that new 2024 release comes with FreeBSD 14.1 as a base version, with an ability to upgrade to that version after the update to Sippy 2024, I assume. So we also provide the ability to upgrade PostgreSQL database engine to 17th version from the current 16th. And the new port 3 also touches the OpenSIPs upgrade to the next supported version 3.5 from 3.4 that we are using right now at the edge. We are also updating the PHP web engine to latest supported version 8.3 and Golang engine from the current version we are using to 1.22. So there are actually more packages to be upgraded, but those are just 5 main packages that we will be delivering with the new 2024 version. And the last topic for my presentation today is the Selenium test coverage. So the Selenium is actually the industry standard for the web testing and automatization for web testing. And in the next release, we are adopting the Selenium as a main tool for performing the automated web testing for different places of web UI and making sure that everything works smooth and all custom scenarios are also covered with that. For the time being, the full basic functionality is covered by the tests, which includes account, customer, tariff, service plan, routing group, etc., creation, update, and deletion, and so on. So automated checks would be run on selected CP version with every actually commit. So this helps us identify the possible issues pretty early and get them fixed without affecting the customers. So this is actually how the deployed Selenium looks like in the automated pipeline we are using. Questions?
Thank you, Phil. Sorry, Pavel. Sorry. Go ahead. So no questions then, Philip. You can ask questions if you want.
I think Fred and I will do questions. I'd like to start off with a question. So
then you go ahead, Philip. Do you say you have a question?
yeah.
And then you go ahead.
So countdown from Max.
You could, Fred. Feel free to ask questions too, if you want.
Quiz me.
Let us know when you're ready, Max. And Fred, maybe turn on your camera too. Thanks, Pavel, for your great insights on some of those topics. I just wanted to ask you about some of the bugs and regressions that come up. When a bug or regression does come up, how frequently do you think those are caught before a production release is put out?
Well, that actually depends, since we have different tools for optimize the testing, web UI and XML API and backend testing. So this means that even with the highest level of proficiency and professionalism that we try to deliver, some bugs anyway could be possible. but we do our best to catch them as early as possible and do not push them in production. This actually includes different versions that we perform the testing, as it was mentioned before. So the tests are done one by one. So first we're doing some unstable branch, the whole development and testing. Then the testing is performed in stable branch, and only if everything was successful, the merge is going into production.
Great. Thank you. Fred?
Just a quick comment for the viewing audience. I know that on the commercial side, I frequently deal with questions or comments about there being different soft switches out there in the market, competitors, things of that nature. The free switches and things that are available, without any money at all to have to pay for. On our side, as I mentioned earlier, we invest funds, we invest resources, we invest time into developing the team members, making sure that they understand that they have the tools available to troubleshoot problems, to make sure that they do testing ahead of time so that each release that we put out is well put together, and so that it doesn't collapse, and so that it doesn't generate problems itself. As much as possible, we try to do that. And unlike other companies who are only out there selling a Softswitch, we are actually doing everything from the development to planning to testing, as Pavel mentioned. Doing all the work that Pavel does is not inexpensive. It takes a lot of time, and as you know, time is money. So getting your Softswitch from a company that does not have a full development team and members as Pavel is a risky proposition. So just to keep in mind. Thanks, Philip.
Dima's next. Let's talk about milliwatt tone application.
Cool. Let me share that. Dima, can you turn the camera off for the time being? Max? Dima, hold on. Just 1 minute. I'll say thank you, guys, for the question, and
Okay.
you'll jump in. Okay. Thanks, Fred. Thanks, Philip, for the questions. So I believe that the whole team work should be adequately estimated here, and we do what we do only by working as a team. Thanks. Cut.
All right, Dima, camera, slides.
4, 3, 2, 1. I'm ready.
No, I can introduce Dima.
Yeah, I thought that Philip was doing these intros.
Yeah.
Okay, let's start.
All right. Thanks, Pavel. Next up, we wanted to let Dima talk a little bit about a new application that he wrote. This is an IVR application that presents a milliwatt tone. So I'll leave it to Dima to explain that work.
Yeah, talk about milliwatt tone as a new IVR application. Milliwatt tone is specialized IVR application designed for diagnostic audio issue in DID calls. It continuously plays 1004 GHz test tone, providing a simple and reliable way to identify issue like noise or delays. It integrates with any DID numbers for efficient troubleshooting. Yeah, about setup, it's quick and easy. First, create IVR application under system management, select S-type milliwatt tone, then assign it to DID numbers via DID pool section, and finally use the test DL plan to confirm it's working properly. This application simplifies audio troubleshooting, automates testing, integrates easily with the ID numbers. I would like to point out that at that moment we have following IVR application as calling card, top up, callback, play balance, and new milliwatt tone. Milliwatt tone is ideal for real-time testing and roads and equipment diagnostic issue. It helps to ensure smooth work and high-quality sound for customers. Thank you for attention and your questions.
Yeah, maybe just to expand a little bit further, a really good use case might be to assign one number out to so that you can always test out each of the connections that you might have. So you set up one test DID number, and then if there's any drops in quality, audio quality that you think might be happening, you just bring up this number and hear for yourself the drops in quality. It's a good sort of metric to diagnose problems or give you an idea that there is actually a problem with some of the calling quality that you might have. All right, Fred, this is a good time for you to Max to swap over and for you to ask your question.
Okay, let me know. Okay to go, Max? I'll try to keep my question as simple as possible for you, Dimitro, so that it's not going to be a technical question at all. I'm going to ask you about your role in the team in that. So,
go ahead, Fred.
Okay, Max. Yeah. Okay. So. Okay. Thank you, Dimitro. So one of the questions I have, because I've been talking about sort of some of the commercial improvements that we make on a regular basis to deliver greater value to our users. What do you think is the sort of the strength of the development team as you have seen it, perhaps compared to other development environments that you have been in before?
This feature was highly desired by our customers, and now milliwatt tone is available.
No. I asked you how you compare the Sippy team to other development teams you've worked in.
Okay.
So okay.
I need to prepare maybe.
Okay, so that's why let's leave my question out, Philip. I thought that I might.
maybe Dima, what's your favorite thing you like about Sippy? Keep it. Yeah.
Okay. So I'll make it very simple. Okay. 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 Thank you, Dimitro. So one of the questions I have, because I've been talking about some of the commercial value that we deliver on an ongoing basis to our user base. What would you say is some of the most important things that you see inside the development team for making a strong development environment?
Okay, I like to help our customer to fix more most necessary things in our project for working correctly.
Okay, thank you, Dimitra. Max? Yeah, because that was not the answer. That's not what that was not the answer. Okay, Philip. I mean, we could just leave my question out, right? Like, I don't have to ask everybody a question if you want. Okay. So I got it. So let me say it. So let me go. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay, so here we go. Thanks very much, Dimitro. I appreciate your feedback on the milliwatt tone development. Just have a question on whether you go to the same barber that Pavel goes to, because his hair seems to be wild and crazy. Yours seems to be a little less wild and crazy.
Thank you.
Okay, thanks, Max. Okay, Philip?
The next one's Mark.
Hello. So, can I start now or?
I'll introduce you, Mark.
Okay.
We'll just wait for Max's go ahead. All right. Next up is Mark. Mark is going to talk a little bit about some of the new changes we have to our user interface. That some of the work we started in 2023, and we'll continue on with the next version. I'll throw it over to Mark to describe some of those changes.
Okay. Thank you, Philip. Hello, everyone. I'm Mark. So, I'm here to discuss the new user interfaces. So, well, aside from the minor improvements and bug fixes to the front end this year, we also have implemented major updates on the three pages. So, the updated pages are the trunk, which was started late 2023. So this is the starting point of our restructure where we chose to use Vue.js to change the interface to improve it. So and then the vendors and then the account, which is in progress right now. So this is what the trunk list looks like right now. So yeah, and then we have how to create the trunk and then the edit trunk. So we have the trunk connections here at the bottom. So uh with the vendors page, so we converted it to the view page. The functionalities are still the same with the new look. So the list display was updated, and also the add and edit form. So the main thing changed in the add and edit form is that it's not on a new page, and then it's now on a dialog pop-up. So to show you what I mean, so this is the current vendor list. So as you can see, we have the filter, the add vendor button there, and then the vendors list, and then some of the functionalities for the vendors. So on our updated vendor list, so we still have the same functionalities. So we have the vendor name filter, the add new vendor here, and then also the vendor list. So also displays the name, the balance, and then also the actions here, the to like open connections, login as, edit, and delete. So yeah, and then as I was talking earlier, so this like our current vendor form. So we have like 20 plus fields here, and then they were section assigned to different sections. So we have basic parameters, advanced parameters, address info, etc. So in our updated look, uh, we changed it to like a pop-up or a dialog. So we have parameters tab and then address info tab, and then we have like a basic section and then advanced section. So uh, as you can see, they are like the same fields here and there. So yeah, those are the improvements done with the look of the vendors page. And then yeah, this is the address info tab. So you can see you can clearly compare the two pages here. And then the next is the account page. So currently this is in progress right now. So the updated components are the list, filter form, add, generate, edit form, create, generate, upload, download, and delete button. So this is our account list currently. So we have the filter sections on top, and then upload buttons here, add account buttons, which contains the add and generate, download accounts, and then also the active and then deleted button accounts here on top the switch, and then also the list here with bunch of actions. So on the updated uh, look, we have now collapsed the filter to make space for to make more space vertically for the account list, and then we move all of the buttons on the top right corner here. So this is the add, generate accounts, upload, download, and then show deleted accounts. So uh, this is how it behaves right now. So this is the live version. This is still in development, but yeah, so you can like collapse and expand the filter section. It will show all of the filters field here, and then you can like hit apply, and then it will apply to the. It will change the display list depending on your filter. And then as you can see, we have like it will show up like a tip here or a indicator what button is it, so user will not be confused. So we have that create account, generate accounts, upload accounts, download accounts, and then show deleted accounts. So instead of like having those buttons on like different sections this as compared to the current one, the updated versions like we now have like a section for them, so users will not be confused. And then and then on the accounts actions, we have now like login as the account, open CDRs, delete account, and then we have like additional options here. So if we click that one, those options are basically the same with this one. So yeah, the look we updated the look, but we try to remain the functionality the same, so the users will not be confused with the update. So yeah, and then yeah, so yeah, basically that's the expanded filter forms look. So and then the account form. So currently the account form page has a lot of sections, and then each sections has a lot of fields. As you can see, this is like uh, scrollable page, and then we updated it like the one that we did on the vendors page. And then moving forward with the incoming updates on all of the pages, we will also do the same like this one. So we will remove the form page and then add or replace it with the dialogue style. So each sections are now separated by tabs, and then uh, the fields are located under them. So the basic parameters are like the account name, VoIP login, etc. So, and then there's the rating billing page. We switch to rating billing, and then advanced parameters. So, and then we also have like generate account form. So we have like additional buttons here on the buttons. So to like additional options to generate a number of accounts, delivery mode, and then other buttons, other functionality. So yeah, I think those are what we have done this year. The next steps would probably, of course, complete the account page, and then probably the first configuration wizard, the first user. So it will like have steps with, if you have like a new account, and then it will have like a step-by-step guide on how to create like account, customers, DID, and so on and so forth. And then probably the next page would all converted will also be the customers page. So yeah, and I think that's it for the new user interfaces update for this year. So any questions?
Yeah. Okay. Thank you, Mark. That's a great level of information. I appreciate, and I'm sure customers appreciate how you've taken us from the work that you've done already, work completed, work that is in progress, and some of your future work that's planned. I mean, from a commercial perspective, it's very exciting. I know that we've talked about the wizard for quite a while.
Yeah.
And I know that with the work that's coming up, it'll be a good improvement. Without letting the cat out of the bag, and telling us too much about it, telling us some of the details. Have you already started some of the work, and if so, how does it look so far?
Currently we are still on planning page, so we have like a workflow on how it will move. So from step by step, and then how it will like follow, how it will like affect the structure of the page, and then or the pages, and how it will like go from page one to page two and page three, and so on and so that. But we don't have like an actual development yet. So we're still on planning page. So we try to make it more what they call that, efficient.
Yeah,
So we
that's
don't have like extra steps in between. So yeah.
Just
that's
to
great.
just to add on that, I think when we started with the vendors page was a pretty straightforward page that we wanted to modernize. The accounts page was probably one of the ugliest pages, in my personal opinion, that we had in our web interface. But they were still sort of similar in structure on how they looked and functioned. The customers pages is probably the next logical extension of that. They ask the similar type things during that workflow when you're configuring a customer. So that's probably the next most immediate pages to generate. And then we could start looking at different applications on how we could use Vue.js for other types of pages, like that first configuration wizard we wanted to work on for some time.
Yeah, thank you, Philip. Thank you, Mark. So that you, the viewing audience, have a great sense of it. The team is working progressively, not just in executing work that's already planned, but also progressing to making improvements. I know that with the interface, we've had various iterations internally as to what we want to have as part of the switch. And now with the team, with the improvements that we made in terms of adding numbers to the team, we are well in our way to making those changes happen. So it's a lot of stuff to come in the future.
Yeah.
Max?
Thank you very much, Mark.
Thank you.
Fred, you said you had to run, right?
I've got to.
So I guess we'll have to park Mark Reed until tomorrow.
We can do his quick. Like if he's the only one that's got to do his. I've sent Artavan a note to tell him I'll be about 10 minutes late. He says that's fine. So if we do Mark in 10 minutes, we should be fine. Yeah, that way he doesn't have to wait. Yeah.
Right.
No. We like Artavan will wait. I mean, as long as we're not another half hour, he should be fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. All right. Let me know when you're ready, Max. Hello.
Chat.
All right, next up, we have Reed, who's been working on a number of back-end improvements for our Softswitch. He has some things to talk a little bit about Switch and some security improvements that we have as well. So I'll throw it over to Reed to talk about some of the changes he's made.
Yep. Thank you, Philip. Now I'd like to talk about the backend improvements we have made for the next release. We have worked on several key updates, and these include Switch improvements, stir shake mode, Go profiling, and password security. So let's dive into each of these areas. Yeah, first, let's discuss Switch improvements, focusing on active calls. We refactored all active call APIs to utilize a SIP-based interface. This transition from querying data in a NoSQL database to using the SIP interface allows our nodes to communicate directly with the B2B user agent in real time. So here you can see how the active call API in Softswitch operates. It communicates directly with the B2B user agent to retrieve live call data instantly. And now Switch follows the same approach as Softswitch, enabling it to retrieve live call data instantly. So this helps our customers respond quickly to ongoing calls. And yeah, next, let's talk about monitoring. Similar to how we enhance active calls with real-time data, we are now in progress for improving our monitoring system to provide real-time monitoring of active switch nodes. So the goal is to retrieve a complete list of active nodes and combine their call data in real time. This will give us an accurate count of in-progress calls at any time, improving transparency and operational efficiency. Yeah, and now let's move to stir check mode. This year, we introduced a new preferred mode. We also ensured that all car validation follows industry standards, specifically RFC 4474 compatibility. Regarding the preferred mode, we previously had the disabled, separate, and require options. As shown in the graph, the preferred mode strikes a balance. It attempts to query the authentication server if there's no cached identity and allows calls with or without a cached identity. As indicated by the green line in the flow chart, this ensures strong protection without being too strict. And in terms of call response, the table on this slide is taken directly from RFC 4474, which defines the SIP response calls for handling identity header issues. So the 428 identity header response code is used when a verifier receives a SIP request without an identity header. And the 438 invalid identity header response code is triggered when the identity signature in a SIP message does match the expected digest string. So previously, as shown in the as is section of the table, some failure scenarios did not return appropriate error codes. For example, when there was no identity header, the system responded with 200 OK, which could confuse downstream systems. And now, as shown in the to be section, we have standardized these responses to ensure clarity and compliance. So for authentication failures, the response is now updated to 500 internal server error with the appropriate error code in calls, such as stir shaken authentication failed with -45. Yep. And next, let's discuss Go profiling for performance. So to improve system performance, we added profiling to our Go-based components, such as routing, tracking, and caching. Profiling can be turned on in the system settings, allowing us to monitor CPU and memory usage during heavy loads. So with profiling, we can identify which parts of code slow down under heavy traffic. This helps us optimize performance, increase call capacity, and offer higher performance options to customers who need more. It also allows us to make improvements before issues arise, ensuring a smooth and reliable calling experience. Well, and finally, let's discuss security. We improved how we handle passwords to make them more secure. All passwords are now encrypted for storage, and even identical passwords produce unique encrypted results. This makes it much harder for attackers to retrieve original passwords. So, for example, as shown in the table, the same input, such as hello world, produces completely different encrypted outputs. Additionally, we now support non-ASCII characters, enabling our users to create stronger and more complex passwords. Well, so these backend enhancements, we have significantly improved the reliability, performance, and security of our system. These updates ensure that our service remains robust and capable of meeting our customers' needs effectively. Yeah. Thank you for your attention, and now I'm ready to answer any questions you may have.
Okay. Thanks, Reed. So one of the things that I know that when we hire new developers, the team is very much focused on is their skills, their strengths, and their ability to think ahead without having to be prompted or without having to be essentially told how to develop or what to do in terms of the development. From a personal perspective, I know that you're very much interested in software development and coding and all that sort of stuff. What is your or what was your most favorite part about working on some of these changes and improvements that you've made? Essentially, what did you like the most or interested you the most?
Well, previously I have worked on like B2C services, and it has been needed like a lot of like thinking about like customers' perspective, and now as you know, I'm working with you guys like amazing team, and it's kind of like B2B service, and so I had to like think about a lot of parts of customers' perspective, and I needed to a strong ability to um, solve problems of our system, and especially it's almost like likely like low level technologies. Well, so I really enjoyed that, and I have grown a lot with you guys. Yeah.
Great. I appreciate the information and the insight. So that our audience is aware, as I mentioned, we not only choose the development team and the support team, any team member in Sippy, from their skills, but also from their ability to, as Reed said, to problem solve and troubleshoot things. We give our team a great level of freedom in terms of how they come up with solutions, and I think that it shows in some of the creativity of how they fix problems and troubleshoot issues that come up. Thank you very much, Reed. Philip?
Thank you very much, Reed. And I think that's pretty much it for the developer update. Max will have a few more comments to talk a little bit about in his next set of presentations. We have a number of talks still to go with our sales and support teams and our DevOps teams, as well as some notes from Max. So stay tuned. We'll continue. Okay.
Okay, so can I jump out now? Okay. Thank you, guys. Thank you, guys. Make sure you wear the same thing. Yeah, thank you, guys.
Thanks, everyone. Great job, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Goodbye.
Everyone.
Thank you. Bye.